So we are live. This is attempt number 2, by the way. My lighting's a little bit off because I've had to move my ring light here whilst I talk to Facebook, who are in my phone right now. Because StreamYard has decided, or Facebook has decided now, that we're not having access. So what I want you guys to do on Facebook is I want you to go to I am the Queen. No, the Queen Bee Dani. If you search the Queen Bee Dani, you should be able to see on Facebook, YouTube, that we are live. YouTube, come at me. Where are we at? And I want you to, when you get onto YouTube, type in the comments that you're here. We might not be able to have the same kind of conversation that we normally have. So what I'm going to do over on the not my effing jam either, being such a headache the past few months. Honestly, Kim Fox, there is nothing I love and hate more in equal parts than technology. Kerry Hendry is here. So you guys are starting to come over. Kerry, do me a favor. Could you share the link into the comments on the live on Facebook? And then what I'll do, Facebook, is I will keep telling you guys to get over to the Queen Bee Dani, and then I'll delete this afterwards. I won't delete this. This is going to be the show. All right. We have 3 viewers over on YouTube because it's a ball ache, and I get it. So we're not going to capture everyone from Facebook. Understood. But they are all starting to drift away. So come on over to YouTube. Oh, she's very squeaky. Oh, for goodness sake. Okie dokie. So let's get rid of that. We've got Vanda's here. Chloe's here. Good morning. And that's it. Nothing's happened now. Oh, what's happened now? That StreamYard and Facebook aren't talking to each other. Kerry Hendry's just shared the link, Facebook there. And YouTube, hello. How are you all? Right. Okay. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to actively do the shit weather. I'm going to bring Inge in because she's been sat there waiting so very patiently this morning to join us. And we'll do the shit weather together. So, in lieu of the like and the love button, we have the like button. In lieu of an applause button, please will you welcome on to the show at Rise Up Show. This morning, we are flying by the seat of our pants. I was there. It said it wasn't. Emma Belmont of Piero Belmont Photography has just been in touch to say, Inge, get in here. Hiya. Normally, people get a massive, big, awesome introduction.
It's all right. I can hear it in my head.
You have had nothing but a kerfuffle. I'm going to do it while you're here with us. So before we do crack on, thank you to all those of us that have headed on over to YouTube. You guys are amazing. Emma, you can see us on YouTube. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, so our guest this morning is an absolute Insta wizard. She is all kinds of amazing. It's awkward when you're doing it when you're actually on the stage, isn't it? She is all shades of amazing and an incredible friend of mine. Inge Hunter, everybody, good morning, Inge. Yeah. This has been the weirdest beginning to my day possible. Right. Facebook, I'm not going to continue streaming here. I'm going to finish this live. I will see you on YouTube, the Queen Bee Dani. Right, that's one stream that I don't now have to think about. Although, because you're so cool and so technically minded, you stream to different places at once using different devices, don't you, when you're doing these things?
Yeah, I do. It's a bit low tech. I don't think it's techie. I just have like loads of phones. And then just a quick.
I'm from Preston. They have loads of phones around here, but for completely different reasons. So, good morning, my darling. Thank you for being patient and thank you for joining us. I am thrilled that you're here. Thank you to those of you that have jumped over to YouTube from Facebook. Handily, if you don't already subscribe to the Queen Bee Dani channel, please do, because we have some awesome content in here as well. It's a shameless plug for my stuff, but let's talk about you. Inge.
Yes.
How did we meet? Can you remember?
I don't know.
We've like become friends by osmosis.
I don't know.
Was it just like one day suddenly we decided that was it, we were going to be mates?
Yeah. Well, we're in the similar business groups.
Yeah, we are. It's true.
And then, was it because we met? It feels like we've been friends forever.
Yeah, it's true. Look at that.
It's actually only been, maybe it was since that We're Manifesting. Was that the?
Yeah, when we meet, like when we met in real life, that was the first time we met in real life, even though we kind of knew of each other
online, hadn't we? We'd had wine on. Was that before?
We don't even know. Like, nobody knows the timeline of anything anymore. Either way, we've been friends and it feels like forever, but it hasn't been forever. It's only been a little bit, but I think it's a testament to how awesome you are that one day we decided, that's it. I like the cut of your jib.
That's literally it. Okay, let's be friends.
So tell us more about what it is that you do, because what you do is awesome and outside the realms of any of my intelligence. It's incredible what you do.
Well, I help people market their businesses. Basically, I'm Inge. I'm Inge without the M. That was it. We did that Yorkshire thing.
Yeah, we did.
That was
in January.
Yeah, that was
I
it.
remember.
We were talking about a
vocal business card.
A vocal business card.
Yes.
So I'll give you mine. I'm Inge. I'm Inge without the M. I am a digital marketing strategist and a podcast host. So I essentially try and help people make their dreams something, because as business owners, as people who are doing something different, we all have that stone inside of it's like right here. It's like a stone, and we just must go against the curve, and we just must share our stuff with the world, with everyone. And I help people figure out how to do that through Instagram and with a wider digital strategy. And I also complement that with my podcast to give people a listening version of getting out of their own way.
And it is wicked. Like we've done one of your podcasts, haven't we? I've been a guest on one of your podcasts. Yeah. And it was such a lovely experience. It was one of those ones that, you talk about getting out of your way. We talked obviously about my story, and we laughed and we cried, and it was an experience, wasn't it, that we had on your podcast? We was like, it was emotional. It was amazing. So what brought you to digital marketing? What brought you to particularly the world of Instagram, because you are an Instagram wizard?
It's a long story.
Is it? We got time.
Not really. Well, I've been so I was homeless when I was 17.
God, we went there. We went straight there. Go for it.
Well, that's the beginning.
Well, I was born.
I was born in 1989. No, I was homeless when I was 17.
Yeah.
And obviously, when I know it might not be legal, but when you're homeless or you're living on the streets I was living in a young girls' hostel, you're surrounded by entrepreneurialism, even if it's not quite legal, because everyone has to make their own way. Everyone has to figure it out. You don't get a lot of support. So I was helping friends with their own entrepreneurial escapades whilst still doing college. And I was the only person at that hostel that actually got to uni. So I went to uni and did business management, marketing, and psychology. So that's where the marketing comes from. It's
so, I mean, I don't want to ask you kind of too much about the entrepreneurial assistance that you gave to your to the people that you were surrounded with, because I can only imagine, and I don't want you to incriminate yourself. But what made you go for that? So you was like, okay, so I'm homeless. I'm in this hostel, this refuge. I want to go to uni. What made you choose that?
Choose uni?
Well, A, choose uni, and B, choose topic.
Oh, well, the first uni I went to, I did just psychology because I think anyone who's gone through any trauma is just driven towards psychology, because you want to figure out what it is or why things happen. So if you can figure out psychology, then you figure that out. But a lot of the psychology I was doing, I had done it at sixth form, and it wasn't great. Like, it was just repetitive. Wasn't learning very much. And so at the time, so I started off selling cocktails in the street. It's like
Like a promo girl?
No, literally just me. I lived in Cambridge, and
Right.
Cambridge has like these big like May balls. Each of the university every year has like a big like college ball and stuff, and they're quite world known.
Yeah.
To get into it's completely free. They buy these tickets, they're literally like £300 ticket. It's completely free when you get in there, loads and loads of alcohol, but they tend to queue for a good 2 hours before. So I was working in a bar, and decided to just put cocktails in like milkshake tubs. No one was there. I was managing the bar when I was 18. Like no one was there. I was like, okay, no one's coming in because everyone's going to the balls.
Yeah.
So I went and sold them these cocktails in plastic cups whilst they were queuing for £10 a cup. And
how much?
£10.
Yes, man.
Yeah. But they were, demand, isn't it? They can't.
It's exactly that.
They're waiting. They want to get in there. They're all excited and stuff. They're probably taking
pre-drinks, girl.
Yeah, basically. So loads of money doing that, and then I developed that into a mobile cocktail bar. So I had a mobile cocktail bar by the time I was 19, and I thought that I should probably learn business to figure out how to do it. Actually, that business degree was a complete waste of time. Didn't learn any, like genuinely knew more about business just from trial and error than my lecturers did. And, but thought I should pursue it anyway. Also, I really, really like being the only girl from that hostel that went to university. Like I know.
Like your badge of honour.
Yeah, I made it, girls.
Yeah, you did.
Anymore. I never did the dealing. I just.
All right. So you've got this cocktail van.
Bar. It was like this, made out of wood.
All right. So by the time you're 19, and then you go on to study business, although that the studying of the business isn't great. So many people do find this, like the art of businessing. Yes, you can learn basics, but if you're an entrepreneur, it is a feeling, isn't it? You can learn as you go, but within, I mean, I don't want to poo-poo like academia at all by any stretch of the imagination, but I didn't manage to go to college and finish college or university. I mean, I went off traveling and still have managed to work out how to run a successful business, and still have managed to work out how to, get jobs within decent corporate spaces and all of that kind of stuff. And it's a funny one, isn't it? Because you can go to university, and in everybody's, or for the most part, from the construct, I guess.
Yeah.
It's you go to school, go to college, go to university, and then you get a good job in the field that you've chosen. Your degree is the dream. But in reality, that's not what happens for the majority of people, even that go for the degrees. It's crazy. The system is crazy.
No, because if you think those lecturers are professional academics.
Yeah.
So they're not actually had a business in their life. And generally, a lot of the universities try and get away with saving money. So they tend to be master's students or PhD students as well. So one lesson, they were talking about branding and how everything in the world is branded and everything's branded and you should develop a brand. Like they had a good point, as we know. But then I said, well, what about apples? They're not branded. And he's like, well, you've got your Pink Lady and your Braeburn. And I was like, no, they're types of apple.
They're species of apple.
Yeah. Afterwards, he was like, no one's ever got me on that one. I was like, oh.
I got you. This is the rate at which your mind works, which I just find beautiful. But the way, like, one of the things that I love about you as my friend is the way that you process things and the way that you look at things. It's in a very, not in a different way than most other people, but you are a watcher and a learner of the things that go on around you, aren't you?
Yeah. You have to be, because you can't be egocentric in anything that you do in business. Otherwise, you're barking up your own tree. You have to watch and observe. And if you are really, really into making business work, it's all about, I know it sounds really crap, but it's all about strategy and manipulation and just making things happen for the people that want it to happen. So you have to figure out what that is. You know, selling cocktails to someone in the street when they're going to get, you could turn around and say, but they're going to get free stuff in there. They're only going to be there queuing for another half an hour. They've got a hip flask in their pocket. And I'm like, yeah, but they want a cocktail. They want to show off to their friends. They want to flash their money around. That's what they really want. They don't need like a shitty Long Island in a milkshake cup.
They want to stand there having pre-drinks together. We're pre-drinking. This is pre-drinks.
Yeah. They want to buy one for all their friends because they're just, you know, Cambridge students.
It's right, isn't it? So have you always worked for yourself, or have you gone from employment to then creating your own businesses, or like what's that kind of journey to where you are now? Well, how's that look like in terms of employment, self-employment?
Yeah, I've always had business. So after the mobile cocktail bar, I went into events management, then I went into wedding planning, and then I came into my marketing world. But alongside, like, the thing is though, with a lot of people who say we've always been in business, I've always done business. Yes, I have, but I've also always had a side hustle up until, well, I haven't had a side hustle. There were times when I didn't need one at all. It's just always been there. And I've always dipped into hospitality, working in weddings and events or in a restaurant and stuff like that. And but the difference is that it was genuinely side hustle. Like, I'd never ever let myself get absorbed or get comfortable, spend my lunch shifts just like furiously creating content, because I can't ever, probably the way I was grown up, probably the fact that I've been in the system, probably the fact that I'm entrepreneurial anyway, no one can tell me what to do. Even some of these jobs, I would sit down and they'd get cross with me or something, or I'd done something wrong, and I'd have like an exit interview, and it would all be like, I'd always be, but what about you though? What about your business? You're not marketing yourself properly. You're not doing this properly. You're not doing that properly. And they'd all be like, get out. But then afterwards, they'd drop me an email and say, what was that you said?
Right.
Can you come in and help us? So
it kind of started from there.
Yeah, it's always, it's started off as a necessity and it's grown into a luxury, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to create a life where I can make the choice. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think it's an incredible position to be in. And our journeys are the same yet different, you know, in different areas and with different outcomes, with different things going on around us, but still that kind of tenacity, that kind of the want to help people, and that tenacity is a huge catalyst for a lot of entrepreneurs. So what do you do now? Like how does your business work right now?
I tell people what to say and how to say it every day online to make sure that they grow their businesses, because essentially what people do is they start a business and they're very excited about it, and I've even worked with corporates in the same way. You know, they're very excited and they want to tell the world, but what happens is they tell the world from themselves, from a very egocentric point, from a very business centric point. You know, for example, I used to work with housing developers and estate agents, and they'd say, well, it's a timber frame with slate roof tiles, and I'm like, no. People like people like the Arga cooker, people like the door handles, you know. So essentially I work with people once they've been doing it for a little while, or they're like, no, I just know that this isn't going to be my jam. And then I force people to be consistent by telling them to do it every day, not because consistency bloody works, but also because if you are consistent, you learn more you get more feedback. So I force people to be consistent. Literally, some of my clients check in them every single Friday. They have to have work done. And at the same time, I teach tactics and strategies and things to make their consistency better.
Yeah. So you've just done a big piece of work around around your website, around having a huge piece of work around your website. It's been really, you share on your stories your journey as well, like how you're getting on within your business and how that looks like, and that real transparency is essential, I think, for the people that are following you and the people that want to grow in a certain way. And like on the Instagram, the way that you share is, again, it's something to learn, isn't it? Using stories and using your grid and using other different things around Instagram and digital marketing, it's important as a connector, and using those different areas within the app to connect is I find fascinating. How, like, you do that. Why do people hang out in different places on Insta? Why, like,
No, because it's where they feel comfortable, and also people are lazy. So if you think your job isn't to, and my job isn't to tell you to write a novel or write an amazing blog that someone's going to sit down and read and things. My job is to help you or help myself make someone stop in the queue in Tesco's. So it's about, where is that person going to be browsing when they're just like mindlessly, because we're not on social media like actively, I must check what everyone's doing today. It's a passive subconscious process. So you have to learn that, okay, that person, they're going to be, the first thing they click on is going to be that Facebook symbol. The first thing that person's going to click on is Instagram. And within Instagram, are they going to scroll the stories first, or are they going to look at their feed? Or are they going to look on LinkedIn first? Or are they going to look on Twitter? You just have to really nail down where that lazy subconscious passiveness of their mind's going to go, and it's normally where they feel most comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've just done some work on your website. You've just created the facet of your business called the agency. Will you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so the agency's not coming out till the 3rd of August.
Right.
But recently I've been doing a lot of work on myself and a lot of work on up-leveling my business. And I don't know how far to go, but it makes me...
We've got time. Like, we're here for the chat. I mean, you can tell us, you can not share stuff if you don't want to share stuff. I'm here for it.
Basically, my whole thing is helping people get to a point at which they know what to do. And I identify, because I've been a business owner for so long, because I studied at a university, because I've had different points of access to business through necessity or through luxury. I truly want to make business as accessible as possible for anyone who wants to have a go, or wants to do it, or wants it to grow, or wants it to be something. So for a long time I was getting cross with, I don't know how much to say, because I'm outing my inner thoughts, but
you say what you feel comfortable and don't incriminate yourself. They're my rules.
I'm getting cross with people who are buying into small niches. So a small niche, buying into a specific expert is brilliant once you know what you're spending money on and you know how it can help your business. Some people are very, very good at marketing themselves, and so make it seem as if their niche will solve the problem. And often the problem isn't just one thing, it's a collection of things. And generally the problem comes down to that they're not marketing themselves enough or at all. So I think people should invest in niche areas once they understand what they're investing in and how it's going to help their business. So I also view a lot of these niches, because I have training and education in it. I know some of these niche areas, and I know that they're perhaps not as in depth as they are claiming to be. And so I want to create something, it's called the agency, which is a really accessible service, which is essentially like an open university course, but for business owners. And it takes you through all a holistic, compact of all elements of digital marketing and growing your business. But not just like SEO or Instagram or Facebook or email marketing. There's also modules on like confidence and mindset and big picture work, because those are really, you can't market yourself if you don't know how to get in front of the camera.
Right.
So I've created a very holistic open university, module by module, month by month, but with a core content structure of me saying post every day, here's what you post.
People get scared and they get overwhelmed, don't they, of content creation and posting every day. And I think that's probably the stopping block as well. The first thing, and I find that in my business, helping people to speak, helping people to articulate what it is that they do, or share their mission messages or create talks. The first stumbling block is fear of visibility. Is that what goes on up here dictates your outcomes for your business in every single situation, whether it's how much money you earn, how many people you reach, what you charge, what whether you're seen, all of this. So I forgot what I was going to say then. Oh, saying about the amount of content. If you think, right, okay, well, I've got to create a Facebook post every single day or an Instagram post every single day, that's 365 posts. You sit there at the bottom of the 365 post mountain and you think, wow, it's too much. Like, oh, I'm just not going to fucking do it.
Well, yeah, that's why I tell you what to say every day. For 8 months, my main thing anyway is I want to help you as much as possible, like give you space to figure out what's working. If you're stuck because you're not posting every day, let me figure that out for you, so then you can figure out the bigger things. So it's, people do get overwhelmed, which is why it's 8 months, and I could give it to you all at once, but no, it's done month by month so that you can work in a process. And yeah, I mean, you have calendars that tell you literally, talk about this in your posts, talk about this in your stories, and then how to repurpose it and things, because that shouldn't be what stops you. And if I can tell you if I'm telling you what to say every day and that gets you out of your own way, cool. Now let's go and figure out SEO,
Right. And then you find anyway that when you do post every day, and you kind of you end up finding a bit of a rhythm, and then you end up seeing the stories in everything, the learning in everything that then you can make applicable to your business, so then that you can go out and share those learnings with people. It's so funny. Like last year, for example, I didn't really know what to post in a day, and it was this kind of time of year, and the dandelions had turned into, like with the little fuzzy heads, like the clocks, if you will.
Yeah.
And I got outside in the morning, opened the door, and there are these dandelion heads everywhere, loads of them. And they're like up here because Wallace hadn't been out and mowed the lawn in ages, because we're not gardeners. We spend a lot of time indoors. And I was like, oh my God, look at the state of my garden. It looks horrific. Oh my God, Wallace, you need to sort this garden out. And Ivy walked out and she was like, Mummy. I was like, what? She was like, look at all the wishes in the garden. Oh, she was like, it's amazing. And I just created this post just telling that story. And then at the end, the learning was, is it weeds or wishes? You get to choose. Like Ivy walked out of the door that morning and she was like, look at, she was so excited. There's so many wishes that she could make, and it was amazing. It's like she was made up. And I was furious because all of these weeds were there and it was awful. It was horrible. They were up to here. And what was the neighbours thinking? It's a decision that you get to make over your, outcomes or whatever. But by just having that little conversation in the day, you can actually repackage that and turn that into content. And that seeking of learning, or that seeking of stories, once you get into it, actually is a really cool pattern of how to create content, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You can't learn about your business just by doing your business. Then you have to tell people about it, see what they say, and get that feedback, and keep going. And yeah, it's important.
So when you were saying, as part of the agency, you've got all the practical stuff, and you've got, learning of the businessing bit, but you've got the mindset stuff, the confidence stuff, the the up here stuff as well. How did you come to create that content? Because the knowing of the how is half the problem. It's only half the problem.
Yeah.
And that other chunk of learning is huge. It's the other half of the problem. So how did you come to? I would say it's more probably 2/3. Like, because I wing everything technically, as you've all seen this morning. How did you come to creating that particular content?
Well, firstly, I haven't created it yet.
Shut up.
Well, I'm getting in experts because I am. Each person has their own journey, and each person knows their own thing, and each person knows their own strengths and things. And so, as part of the agency, I didn't want to pretend or say that, yeah, I'm the best in everything. Like, I can do absolutely everything. Right. I could probably sit and deliver like a message on each of my classes. I say that because it's just literally written up on the board. But I'm not the expert in everything. And so the agency leans a lot on bringing in guest lecturers to take a class. So it's getting out of your own way, mindset and those kind of things. Sometimes it can be just like faking it I hate that phrase, faking it, but like just pushing yourself out there until you can do it. And for example,
get it wrong till you get it right.
Yeah. Like I've got modules on photography, like how to take better photos, how to edit your photos, but you can't do that unless you know how to pose. So equally in the confidence modules, I've got a class on posing from a drag queen because I'm better at posing.
Inge, yes.
So it's essentially, I'm looking at it, that's why
I like you looking at it.
I
want to look at it. Are you showing look at all that amazingness? My God.
It's all about finding someone that can inspire it.
Yeah.
You know, you can read as I don't know, it's a hard question. I've just got guests coming in.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that. When people create, and say you create like a signature offering, such as the agency, for example, you could be driven by ego and saying, no, actually, I want to deliver all of this content because I want to be right at the face, right in the middle of all of this. And I want me to be the person that they remember and I'm going to deliver it all. Actually, what you get to do is you get to share with your audience other incredible people. One of the reasons why I do this isn't because, well, yeah, I just want to talk to my mates in the morning because it's probably the only time we're going to get to catch up for the next couple of weeks until we decide to get drunk on Zoom again. Which has probably been one of the funner things to come out of lockdown is that I get to sit in my bedroom and just drink wine with my friends. But acknowledging that you are not the expert in everything and still being able to be a catalyst and a facilitator for a wider piece of learning is just as important, isn't it? Instead of thinking, right, okay, well, you know, I've got to teach photography, or I've got to teach how to go live, or I've got to teach this, that, or the other, whatever it is that isn't your jam. You could do it, but you'd only do it half as well as, say, an expert, somebody who's really in that field. So the fact that you can be open enough to bring those people in and not have to wholly own the entire product, have those people come in and you be a facilitator, a conduit, a brand that people go to where they know they're going to get this incredible content from different people as well as you. I mean, you're the icing on the cake.
Well, I guess, but you have to. I get excited about Instagram because I know how connective it can be. I know the ins and outs of it. I know how powerful it can be. I don't get excited about profit first, but someone else does. So I need someone else in order people listen to enthusiasm and passion.
Yes.
And so I need, I guess that is egocentric because I need that from every class, but equally, I can't do that for every class. It's literally, I'm trying to think about it literally like a university course. So if you sat there and you had a lecturer at the front who's like, let's talk about profit first, like it's an important thing to listen. But if you have someone at the front who's like, oh my God, you need to put 20% away. You need to do 50% here. I'd be like,
all right, that's right. It's something to get excited about. Well, that's good. I'll get excited about that then. And you end up being like, it's excitement by osmosis by whoever it is that's doing the teaching. I think it's something that, you know, the way that you've done on the agency and the things that you're telling me about it, there's nothing else really that's out there that's like it right now. And I'm so excited when you launch it and everyone falls over themselves to go and learn at the University of Inge. I love it. It's all like business situation.
I just wanted to, like I said, I wanted to give something that's not, it's niche-esque. It's digital marketing, but I wanted to give something that gives a really good foundation, because I really felt like there's not anything available for people to learn. The idea is that they learn everything, and then afterwards, then they can niche, because they know what's working, what specific area actually worked, or then they can niche because they can understand what they're paying for the outsourcing. And so it's all about just giving people that real, it's like a mountain. Like, I'm not at the top of the mountain. I'm not a guru shouting down like, do this, do that, do this. I'm there in the middle of the mountain, like pulling people up and also push it.
Above where you want to be. Yeah. Because there are people that want different outcomes to you. But it's like being in the medical profession, isn't it? Where you get, you know, if you're a doctor, you go in and you learn the basics of medical science in the first instance, and then you specialize.
Yeah.
But you've got to have that foundation, that understanding of how the body works in order for you to develop a love of a particular area, right?
Yeah. It's like the F2, F1, F2, where they do different like rotations in all the different areas.
Yeah.
I'm so bloody passionate about helping people follow that stone inside of them, that I will just help as much as I can in the most holistic way I can, that I know, without pretending that I'm something that I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's that, isn't it? It's that authenticity, that pretending that you're not pretending that you're someone that you're not. So how has business changed for you, or has it, during lockdown?
It's been positive. It's funny, you know, I launched my last round of the social method literally when Boris was like, by the way, everyone stay at home. So it just went, everyone was like, I'm not spending any money. I don't know, literally in that week, everything kind of sort of started to crawl back again, which was fine. But that I still got clients on board. I still worked through it, which was great. And then once everyone's become more confident, people are deciding, like digital, like social media, Instagram, that's probably something I should pay attention to now.
Now.
I should have been paying attention to it a while ago, but I'll get there.
Just come along to the pod. Doesn't matter if you're late. Come on.
Yeah. So it's been, as people gain more confidence, then it's got busier and busier and busier. And now it's given me the space though, with the less client intake, to create the agency, to think about the agency, and to work on myself a lot more.
Yeah.
And so different businesses have done different things in lockdown. Like mine's just naturally sat really well for it, because it's something that people have realized they need to invest in. So I've had loads and loads of interest in the past month or so, but honestly, everyone, I'm like, no, nothing. The agency's coming. That's what I'm focusing on. If you want something, that it will be in there. So it's been
a ride.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, would that have even have come together had you not been given the space to?
No.
Yeah. This is it, isn't it? This is when we look back and we reflect on 2020 and whatever that is, and today's the 1st of July, we've got another 6 months of 2020 to go. Well, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and I kind of want to treat today like the 1st of January for everybody. Like, let's just like start again with 2020. Like, today could be the 1st, and we've got 6 months ahead of us now. And actually, when you reflect, and not everybody has to build a business or a facet of the business, or learn a language, or learn a skill, or learn how to knit, or, you know, some people might just be surviving. But isn't it cool that you can kind of turn around and say, actually, I created this facet in my business during lockdown, and the next part of 2020 for you and where this is concerned, I'm dead excited for you.
I think been nice to, and I know this comes from an element of privilege, because I have been able to pause and slow down, but it's been nice to have had even if you're busy, even if you're still going to work, even if you're still really, really just trying to make things happen, that the world has slowed down.
Yeah.
And so maybe, yes, you still had to carry on, but maybe it wasn't as busy as it was before. Or maybe you weren't forced to go and do the school run or forced to go and meet people. So I think that there will be a lot of long-term grace in the slowing down of the world.
I hope so. It's nice not to have to run around like a blue wasp fly, even though I still run around like a blue wasp fly because I don't know any other way. But Inge, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I really appreciate your time, and sorry about the technical issues at the beginning. Like, what was that? I'm gonna have to go and now investigate what the F is happening with StreamYard. But yeah, it's been so lovely talking to you and sharing with everybody what it is that you do. Where can we find out more about you?
On Instagram.
On the Instagram.
I'm not a Facebook girl. Just search Inge.Hunter. INGE. It's
Inge.Hunter
without the M, but spelt Minge without the M.
I have nothing else to add. I've got nothing else to add other than I love you and I will speak to you soon. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. Inge Hunter, everybody. She's an absolute belter. There is nothing that she doesn't know about digital marketing, particularly in the area of Instagram. You guys go and follow her, Inge.Hunter on Insta. Her stories are fabulous. There is tons and tons of epic content there. You can find out more about the social method and indeed the agency that we've been discussing this morning. So, well, this has been interesting. I'm sad that my board doesn't have any. I've not even told you what things are like in Preston. Inge, you still there? I'm going to pull you in. Inge, hello. What's the weather like where you are?
Overcast. It's muggy though.
Oh, it's a bit shit.
Mm.
It's a bit shit. So it's a bit shit in Preston as well. I feel better now. I've got some bees that are on the board. Now, whereabouts are you? Here?
Cambridge. Down. Right. No, left.
This is left.
Oh, right.
Are you above the water?
Keep going right.
Oh, no. Look at the bee.
You know the circly bit? I'm like here. In the circle.
Here?
No, keep going right.
Right. Yeah. This is right.
Keep going. Down a bit. Yeah, there. That's it.
You're there.
So yeah.
I don't know why I thought you guys were over here.
I'm like above London, basically.
You're above London. There. And I'm here and it's a bit shit.
Right bit, left a bit, warm my cold eye.
I felt like we should at least acknowledge the weather because I've got this empty weather board behind me and it made me feel sad. Inge, I will let you go. I love you. Bye. So you can find me hopefully back on Facebook tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. We'll either be on Facebook. You can catch us here. We are growing the community over here on YouTube. So it is pertinent that we are over here. Please do, whilst you're here on YouTube, have a look around. I've got some wicked content talking about all different aspects of generic business and personal development as well. So do have a look around the channel whilst you're here. There's some drops of gold, and also there are recordings from the big festoon, so you'll see here on the channel there are lots of famous faces, people that I interviewed as part of a huge charity endeavour that we did a couple of weeks ago, the big festoon. We raised over £16,500 for domestic violence charities by my interviewing 12 incredible global entrepreneurs and 12 celebrities. So please do hang out on the channel and share the channel. There is some gold in them there hills. That's it. I think that's it for today. I'm going to go and sort my life out with my tech because I don't know what's going on with it. Please do, if you do use StreamYard, go and have a little look and see what the permissions are like for Facebook for you, just in case if you've got anything like queued up today, any lives that you've got to do, go and have a little look. I found that you can go live on your phone, which is good. Live Producer was having none of it from me earlier. Yay technology, yay you, yay Wednesday. We're over the hump. I will see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Shall I tell you who we've got tomorrow? Might that be helpful? I don't know. Let's share. I'm going to share with you who we've got on tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Jodie Salt joining us from the Ladies Live Lounge, talking to us about how to be assertive. Get here for that tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.